Well, I want to thank you for joining us again on Praying Through the Psalms, and we're going to do something a little different today. All this year, we are encouraging you to memorize Psalm 91. And here we have about a quarter of the year to go, maybe a touch less. And I want us to go over Psalm 91 again and just encourage you, if you have not already memorized Psalm 91, to be working on it before the year ends and memorize this great psalm together. Now, just by way of review, I found it easier to memorize this psalm by breaking it down into 4 parts. And each one of these 4 parts go along with the teaching I heard several years ago, or a few years ago, by another preacher, and he called it Walls of Protection. And there are 4 walls of protection and 4 basic units to this Psalm 91, the way he divided it. And I think it's easier to remember that way. So what I'd like to do today is just go back over Psalm 91, help encourage you to memorize this psalm before the year is over. There might come a time when you're knowing this psalm and being able to quote this psalm can make a major difference in your life, a major breakthrough in your life. Well, let's look at it together. Here's the first section. My belief is, and different scholars would have different opinions on this, not that I'm a scholar, but there are scholars that have different opinions on this. I think Psalm 91 could have been written by Moses right after the time of the Exodus. It sure fits the second section of the book, or of the chapter. Well, let me read you the first 4 verses, and this is the first unit, and we call this unit the Wall of the Word. All of Psalm 91 has to do with protection and deliverance. Well, here's the first 4 verses, and think in imagery here that all have to do with protection. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge, or you shall trust. His truth shall be your shield and your buckler. Well, memorize this first 4 verses with the thought of protection. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Secret place, I believe, speaks of prayer and relationship, intimacy with God, time alone with God every day. He that dwelleth in a secret place shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Well, being overshadowed by God, His shadow covering you. And then it says, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, or rock, refuge, my fortress. Well, both of those protect. A refuge is a place of safety. A rock, you can use that for protection. A fortress, obviously, is a place of safety and protection. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. So there is God's hand of protection and deliverance. And then the picture of a bird, a mother bird protecting her young. Surely He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall abide. And he talks about delivery from the snare of the fowler, from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall abide. And then he uses the picture of a shield. His truth, your word, will be a shield and a buckler. So work on those first 4 verses, but think about protection, things to protect. You're under His shadow. He's a rock, He's a fortress, He's a refuge to you. You're under His wings. He's your shield. His truth is your shield. All of these have to do with protection. Well, then the next section begins with verse 5. And this is why I think it might have been written by Moses. The night of the Passover, where they put the blood on the doorposts, and that angel of death passed over them. And their firstborn was spared, they were spared. But think of being in Egypt that night, and people dying all around you in Egypt, and livestock dying all around you in Egypt, but it's not coming near you. Now listen to these words. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Well, so think about not being afraid. You will not be afraid of the terror by night. You will not be afraid of the arrow that flies by day. You will not be afraid of the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor the destruction that wasteth at noonday. So it goes back from day to night, but don't be afraid. And think about that time in Exodus where the children of Israel, man, that would have been a fearful night, if that is indeed what this is referring to, would have been a fearful night. But they didn't need to be afraid. They'd partaken of the Lamb, and they were under the blood. And so we call this the wall of the blood. The blood of Jesus is a protection, and we don't need to be afraid. So memorize this section also. Maybe take a week to memorize the first section, take another week to memorize the second section. Anytime you're attacked by fear, start quoting these verses. Well, now we come to a couple of because sections. And they're a little different than the other section, but the first section was called the wall of the word or truth. Second section was called the wall of the blood. And now we have another section, and I'm going to call this the wall of angels, because it has to do with angels protecting us. He says, because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your habitation, no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent, you shall trample underfoot. So here we have angelic protection as the fourth wall. But think about victory over Satan and victory over evil spirits. He says, because you've made the Lord, who is my refuge, your habitation or your dwelling place, no evil shall befall you, nor any plague come near your dwelling. Think again about the Exodus, and in their dwellings, no evil, no plague was going to come upon them. Their firstborn were not going to die. Well, it says he will give his angels charge over you, keep you in all your ways. What a great promise that is. And think about feet now. They shall bear you up. And lest you dash your foot against a stone. So they're going to uphold you, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And now think about feet. And you shall trample upon. So now your feet are going to trample upon all these images of evil and of the enemy. Different translations have different words here. But it says, you shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion. Some say, and the dragon or the serpent. You shall trample underfoot. Now, as God's angels are going to protect you, and you are going to take authority over these evil spirits, these images of evil. No evil will come near you, nor any plague near your dwelling. Wow, claim that promise. So this is the wall of angels, an angelic protection. And what are demons? Demons are fallen angels. So God's angels are protecting you, and you can take authority over the fallen angels. The angels of God are going to uphold you so that you don't dash your foot against a stone, but then your feet can trample upon the enemy. So picture those things in your mind, and that imagery of angelic protection, of feet, and your victory over fallen angels. Now we come to the last section of Psalm 91, and it's another because section. It starts with because. It shifts a little bit because God is speaking about us. Listen to these words. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high because he's known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Well, because you know his name. So this is the wall of the name, the authority of the name of Jesus, the authority of the name or the names of God as they're revealed in the Old Testament. But you can memorize the promises associated with this. Answer to prayer, with us in trouble, divine deliverance, honoring us, giving us long life and satisfaction. What beautiful promises are in this last section that has to do with because he has known my name. So the wall of the name. Let me read that again so that you can just hear those promises. Because he has set his love upon me. Well, do you choose to love him? If you choose to love him, spend time with him every day. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high. Because he has known my name, he shall call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. So all of these are promises. He's going to answer prayer. He's going to be with us. And then he says, I will deliver him and honor him with long life. Will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Oh, what a great ending to a great psalm. So I trust that you're spending time, if you haven't done it already, break Psalm 91 up into these 4 sections. Let's take a week to memorize the first section, another week to memorize the second, and on, so that before this year ends, you can have memorized Psalm 91. But it's more than a mental exercise. It needs to be a spiritual reality that God is your protector. So love his presence and love that secret place, that time where you are alone with him every day. And it'll make a huge difference in your life. Well, may God bless you as you pursue him and as you seek to memorize and put into practice in your life Psalm 91.
You are worthy of it all.